Mark Carney's Canada rises as Trump loses global ground. Built on confrontation and leverage, he viewed alliances as transactions and believed pressure was the fastest way to secure national interests. Canada, despite being one of America's closest allies, was not exempt from this strategy. Tariffs, public criticism, and tense trade negotiations became routine during Trump's presidency. What Trump did not anticipate was how effectively Canada would respond, not with retaliation, but with repositioning. At the center of this shift was Mark Carney, a globally respected economic leader with deep experience in international finance. As former governor of the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, Carney brought credibility that extended far beyond North America. His influence helped Canada navigate rising global uncertainty while maintaining stability and trust. Rather than engaging in public disputes, Canada focused on strengthening relationships elsewhere. Trade ties with Europe expanded through comprehensive agreements, while economic engagement with Asia increased steadily. Canada presented itself as a predictable, rules-based partner at a time when U.S. policy often appeared volatile. This approach resonated internationally. Governments and financial institutions began viewing Canada as a stabilizing force, a country capable of bridging divides between major powers without escalating tensions. In global forums, Canada's voice carried increasing weight, particularly on issues of financial stability and climate policy. Trump's foreign policy frequently emphasized short-term gains. Allies were pressured to make immediate concessions, often under the threat of economic punishment. While this approach delivered domestic political messaging, it weakened long-standing trust among traditional partners. Canada capitalized on that opening. Mark Carney consistently emphasized cooperation, long-term planning, and institutional strength. On climate finance and sustainable growth, areas where U.S. leadership was inconsistent during the Trump era, Canada offered clarity and commitment. This further elevated its standing on the global stage. As the United States stepped back from multilateral leadership, Canada stepped forward. It did not seek to replace American influence directly, but it filled critical gaps, quietly and effectively. This shift went largely unnoticed until its impact became undeniable. Political commentators argue that this was a strategic blind spot for Trump. He underestimated how quickly allies could adapt and how damaging unpredictability could be to U.S. influence. Power in the modern world is no longer based solely on size or strength. It is based on reliability. By the time the shift became clear, Canada was no longer operating simply as America's junior partner. It had positioned itself as a connector between economies, a mediator in global discussions, and a trusted participant in shaping international policy. For the United States, Canada's rise presents both opportunity and warning. A stronger Canada can enhance regional stability and economic resilience. At the same time, it demonstrates that leadership cannot be assumed. It must be maintained through consistency and diplomacy. Trump's confrontational style reshaped domestic politics, but internationally it accelerated a redistribution of influence. Countries that valued predictability looked elsewhere. Canada was ready. This moment reflects a broader transformation in global politics. Influence increasingly belongs to nations that invest in trust, institutions, and long-term partnerships. Mark